And I'm going to start prepping my timeline for my whole team to work on. So I could do several things here. I could be showing you what I normally show, or renaming the shots using rename by sequence, sequentially, and do the whole thing that I normally do at SIGGRAPH or different shows. But I have done that too much. So what I wanted to show you is a different way of doing it, and that's with a database. So what I want to do is publish this to a database. We will be putting this on the Python example so you can test it out. And this time I run a Python, and now I have a database settings that I can set up my database where that is. I'm going to do it in the simplest way, which is literally with a spreadsheet, right? I'm not going to use anything fancy. It could be using ftrack, shotgun, neem, any of those guys. But in this case, I'm going to be using simply a spreadsheet on my small studio. So I'm going to take that spreadsheet, and all I'm going to do is select my shots. I'm going to show you this quite quickly. I have a spreadsheet empty that is waiting for that. So I'm going to be here, and all I'm going to do is going to right-click, shot management, write shot data. And that has been updated onto my spreadsheet. So if I go now to my spreadsheet, I can actually go, reload that. And now I have all my shots on my spreadsheet, right? What that means is that I can have someone from production or from a coordinator going and setting up all the right naming conventions that I want for my different shots. I can be adding tasks to what is going to happen, and I can add even VFX requirements of what I need to do on the shots. So this is very common by using a shot manager in all the packages. So what I'm going to do is I already have one that I have done already. So I have done my different naming conventions. I have called what the names of the shots is going to be. I have added different tasks that like light, comp, VFX, and everything to the different shots. And I have actually added a nice comment like, do some nice comping, right? Because that's what directors always ask us to. So what I'm going to do is move to HieroPlayer this time. So now I'm an artist on my desk, and I arrive that morning and the coordinator comes around and tells me, your shots are ready, so you can start working on your shots. So what I'm going to do as an artist, I open HieroPlayer. I have actually changed the interface a little bit so you see some different things. Because as an artist, I don't need all the complexity of Hiero or Nuke Studio. I'm just simply putting my project being very simply and a timeline and my viewer. So what I'm going to do is just go into my shot manager, and I'm going to say import from spreadsheet. So I'm connecting back to my database, and I'm going to go import from spreadsheet. It's going to go find that. It's going to take 2 seconds to check that up. And now it has built a whole timeline for me called VFX with the date of today and everything that I'm doing right now. And you can see now I have a bunch of clips. And the first thing I can see is they are colored, and they are tagged, and there is notes, and there is things on them, right? So the reason why we have colors, if you haven't used Nuke 11.2, now we have colors in the timeline. So you can set colors for different file formats, but you can use the API to actually connect it to the tasks that you're going to do. So in this case, anything that is green is a comp, or anything that's brown has effects on it, and I can actually check whatever else, and very, very easily I can know what the shots are about in a very visual way. But I'm an artist, and I'm supposed to work in a couple of these shots. I'm not supposed to work in all of the shots. So what I want to do is I also kind of took out of the dust. I had a script that I built a really long time ago with a really nice developer called Zach that he used to work with us. And he built this really nice script for me to find the tags and do some work with the tagging. And Rick, our main developer in Nuke Studio, did the favor for me to clean it up and put it into the 11 version. So I'll be putting this in Wikipedia quite soon. And it's the tag shots. And what it allows me to do is I can refresh my tags, and I can see the tags that I have on that sequence. And then I can go and say, OK, I want to see the shots that have comments for the VFX requirements. And I get my shot that has my VFX requirement. I can click on my shot, and I can look at that, and that has the VFX requirement tag, and it shows me exactly what it is in there for me to work on. So I can very, very easily look and tag the things. I can actually look at the shots. I can say which shots have comp, or which shots are comp and lighting. And suddenly I can start looking at all the shots that I'm supposed to be working on, or I have to jump into that day. This is the way that an artist will load. Obviously, I can just go into my screen and go into here and start looking at my shots, and I can start playing the shots, have a good look, play that. That's the shot I'm supposed to be working on, and move on. So that is how you actually set up an artist to go into the timeline and using HieroPlayer review and know which shots he's going to be working on at the start of the day. And he can build these timelines all throughout as the database is being built. I can always go and import that database and import that shot, and I'll be able to get those timelines dynamically created without having, if you have seen, I haven't saved any files at any point, right? And I'm already transferring data between everyone into my job. So that is how an artist, again, and using some Python examples that we're going to put around for you to connect into that pipeline.